Welcome to the Cast and Chill podcast, the only podcast not affected by social distancing. I'm your host, Diego.
And I'm Sam.
And today we're going to talk about how to cook bananas in a way that tries to mimic pulled pork, but fails miserably and warrants fighting an actual recipe.
This and more after the break. But first, did we mention that this podcast was brought to you by... Yeah, I got nothing. It's been a while. No one, because we've been so inactive. All our sponsors that totally existed ended up dropping us. First podcast of the year.
Shadow Legends gone.
Gone. Even like that's how you know it's bad. It's first podcast of the year, and it's only about to be April. So
yep. But to be fair, there's been a lot, going on since our last episode.
Yeah, both in the world and with us just personally.
Yep.
I guess, but yeah,
we're not going to really get into the personal stuff, because it's I know me personally, it's not really anyone's business.
Yeah.
At the time of recording this, there's a global pandemic going on. Don't want to mention it by name because YouTube, I guess, doesn't like people being informed.
You can like people say that you get demonetized, and it's like, well, our channel's not even monetized like to begin with. But I think that like they actually recommend the video less, or like it affects something like that. Don't quote me on that, but like it's just
we're just gonna play it safe.
Yeah. So.
In all seriousness, like all jokes aside, there is a global pandemic going on right now. It's pretty serious. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Drink plenty of water. Wash your hands often. Please don't go out unless it's absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm. So you've actually been working from home, right, Sam?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I guess 2.5 weeks ago now, they dismissed us, and I got set up at home here. It's a little bit, in some ways, it is more stressful than working in the office, but I think overall I do enjoy it more. I don't know if I'd do it permanently because there are certain social aspects I'd miss, like being able to just talk to my coworkers easily. Because, we have a chat, but like it's not the same as, turning over to your coworker and like, complaining about the ticket you just got or whatever.
Yeah. Because like it's so much easier to like when you have literally your entire like living around you, it's so much easier to be like, well, my switch is like right there. Well, the fridge is like right across, like, well, my phone is like it's like so much easier to distract yourself and not get work done, especially like because you're just in a different mindset. If you're at your house, you're just not in the same mindset that you are as you would be like when you're actually physically like at your office or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, so that's why I actually set up my workstation on the complete opposite end of my house.
Mm-hmm.
My room is on the second floor on one end, and my workstation is set up in the basement on the other end.
Which, it's cool that your house has a basement. Do all houses where you live have basements?
Most of them do, maybe, but ours isn't finished.
Because
it's not nice.
Oh, well. That's great. No, it's because like no houses like in my city have basements like at all. So I guess it's probably
isn't that like an infrastructure thing. Like isn't it, like I swear I remember like this is gonna sound stupid. Like what the hell are you talking about? But no, I swear I remember reading somewhere that like building infrastructure is different down like in the south.
It probably has something to do with like I would have to guess either the weather or maybe it's just like different state laws. I don't know, to be honest, but I know that it is regional. Like some places have basements, some places don't. Some places have attics, and others don't.
What you do see sometimes is I guess I've only ever really seen this like once or twice is like houses with like proper third floors, not like attics or like one room bedrooms. I'm talking like a proper third floor.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like it's usually like rich people.
Yeah, pretty much, right.
And actually, yeah, it was there were these triplets, I was friends with like years ago, and they were good. They were cool people. That was a great time of my life. I think I was like in like 3rd, 4th grade.
Oh damn!
Mystery Dungeon had just come out. Everyone was playing it. Everyone was super into poke. I'm not kidding. It was a really great time of my. I have a lot of positive memories of that time of my life.
Yeah. It's peak life right there, 3rd grade, Mystery Dungeon.
No, God, no. God, fucking Christ, no.
No. All right.
But actually, speaking of Mystery Dungeon, that just got re-released.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon DX.
So I haven't been keeping up with game news, to be honest. I know that Animal Crossing and Doom just came out. That's about it. Oh, and apparently people are like scared that copies of the FF7 remake aren't gonna ship out on time or something like that. Because Square
that game was good.
Yeah, Square keeps putting out notices. They're like, it's going to it's gonna come out on the day, but we can't guarantee that you're gonna get it on the day. And it's like, oh well. I mean, because especially, well, I don't know. GameStop for a long time refused to close its stores. I don't know if they have since. Do you know like what ended up happening with that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
So
sorry.
GameStop for like a good while there refused to close their stores because they claimed that they were essential.
Yeah, so I have no idea what's going on with that.
Yeah, so
I wish I'd taken like the 3 seconds it probably would have, taken to, like get more informed about that. But no, I remember reading that and thinking that that's kind of awful that they think that they're essential.
It's actually kind of weird because even in my household alone, my mom and my sister still have to go to work because my mom technically like her job is like a government job, and my sister she is a nursing major. And so right now she's kind of like I guess quote interning or something like that, like at a clinic.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm honestly not 100% sure on my sister's situation, so I don't take what I said like 100%, but like I know that she does still have to go to work every day. So
one thing I watched an interview with like a prominent doctor that's on like on the American task. Actually, I don't know if it's American. He's on the task force. Dr. Fauci, I want to say is his name, and he was saying that currently there are vaccine trials look very promising. And that's because, across the world, but it's because the virus doesn't mutate. They're looking at cases globally, they're comparing them. It doesn't mutate, which is why it looks promising right now.
But even then, that would still be like a long whiles off. Because I know there's people that are like, it's already winding down. Like, no, it's not. Like, stay home.
Yeah, because they have to go through trials. And here's the thing, right? The thing that it absolutely sucks, and there are all these terrible cases of people, not knowing they have it, and then bam, the next second, like there was a family of 4. Well, there was a family where 4 people died after a family get together, and that's tragic. And this is gonna sound selfish. I just hate that we're quarantined.
Yeah,
I want to be able to go outside.
Obviously, it sucks. Yeah, as far as like for where I'm at, so I live kind of like in South Texas. And one of the places that it's very known for is the South Padre Island, which is like this beach at like the very, very tip of Texas, like almost crossing into like Mexico. And people from all over the state and even from other states come down here for spring break every year. That's like the one time that everyone in the world comes down here, and it's full of people from everywhere else. And of course, spring break just had to line up with when the virus hit. So there was people from like all over. Like from
and there are people that are ignoring it that are going to their spring break anyway, and that's terrible.
To be fair, spring break was like a week before like stuff really 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 hit the fan, but
that's true.
But yeah, like that's been that happened, and there's been like already 2 cases at my school at least confirmed, one of a student and one of a faculty member, so that sucks. But yeah, look, classes, like we had our spring break 1 week early just because they try to separate it so that not all of the universities and all of the public schools and all of the stuff have it at the same time, because otherwise like the beach would just get like, I mean, it's already like stupid cluttered, but like they usually try to divide it up a little more. So I had my spring break before, and like halfway through the week, we just got an email saying like, yeah, so we're going to extend spring break for another week. And then after that, it's going to be all online. And I was like, oof, what am I going to do? Because most of my classes don't work online since they're music classes. So like choir, we can't do online. Opera, we can't do online. Private lessons, you can't really do them online. Piano class, you can't really do that online. And so it's been really tough kind of like having to figure everything out. A lot of classes like piano, I know the teacher emailed us asking us like which ones of us had pianos at home, but I think not enough people did. And so he just kind of gave up. He hasn't said anything in like 2 weeks. So I'm like, what's going to happen with piano? And they canceled our opera and choir concerts. So
damn. And speaking of concerts, like my acapella, I was in an acapella group, and and the senior concert's a huge thing that just got canceled. I would be heartbroken. Missing your senior year at college is huge. imagine. I mean, like, thankfully, I would rather miss it than have to repeat it. Like, ultimately.
Yeah.
But still, that would suck.
No, I know. I have
a
few friends that they're like high school seniors this year, and
that doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry.
Really,
if you're high school senior, you're boo fucking who.
Oh, not everyone is going to college, Sam.
Oh, all right, fair enough. You're right. But still,
I don't know. And also, people don't do like all the same things in college that they did in high school. So like people that would like were, for example, in choir, and I know because like that's what I mentioned. Like they may not necessarily do choir in college or whatever. So that, like they got to miss like their and then like prom and all that stuff. I know that you probably don't care, but I don't know. It's important to them. To be honest, I didn't care as much either. Like I didn't go to my prom, I didn't go to my graduation, but I cared about choir, and I would have hated to miss my like final choir concert my senior year. So yeah, it sucks, but yeah. It is really what it is. You think it's probably going to be the most eventful thing to happen in our lifetime?
That's a good question. And I feel like I don't want to answer it because as soon as I do, something worse is going to happen.
Or maybe it could be something better.
We've had World War III, and now this.
Yeah.
And the baby peanut.
Oh, the baby peanut. Australia on Fire was also this year.
Yeah, that was a thing.
We missed all of that, by the way. Like, literally, the world has just...
is shaping up to be a crap year.
Watch, like, the rest of it just be... Honestly, I remember back in January, I thought January lasted months. Like,
January did feel like it...
every single...
And February.
Especially for me personally, so much bullcrap happened in the month of January every single day consistently that by the end of it I was like, how the hell? And like you would see those memes where it's like we're 7 months into 2020 and it's barely January, and it was, or like you remember when people would post the memes of like the dude that was like standing there like with a horrified like PTSD face, and then it was like the Grim Reaper or something, and he was like, and that was only January. Like, boy, they didn't even know what it was. They didn't even know what was coming. Like people thought January was bad. Forget about it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But I guess to not stay on the topic for too long, I'm sure that everyone in every podcast and every show has been talking about this. 100%. So I guess to talk about some other stuff, I did back before this was like a big deal. Back in like early/mid February, I went up to San Antonio for TMEA, which is the teacher what is it? TMEA, it's the teacher of music, Texas Music Educators Association, I think it is, which is basically like this giant convention for all music teachers from the state and music college students, and they all go. I got to see a lot of friends that I went to like high school with that are also studying music just in other cities, and it was really cool. Honestly, like a bunch of like crap happened, but the concerts themselves were fun. And I guess in terms of like noteworthy stories, we were walking to the convenience store like at 11 p.m. and this homeless dude walked past us and just said, fucking kids. He didn't even turn to look at us. He was just like, fucking kids, get home. And we're like, okay. It's also the first time that I rode one of those. Have you ever ridden one of those like rent scooters that you can rent? Like,
I have not.
Yeah, it was the first time that I rode one of those, and you would catch like the whole squad just flying into the convention on the little scooters. It was fun, but I wasn't about to waste gas money or pay for Ubers because
right,
money.
Right. Sure.
So yeah, that was fun. Ended up coming back. Almost died on the ride back because my friend only got 1 hour of sleep, and then he drove like 4 hours. But it is what it is. Unironically, we actually almost died no less than 4 times in the car. But
jeez,
I'm not letting him drive next year. I'll tell you that much. So yeah, that was San Antonio. It was fun though. Like even despite like all of the stuff like that. I'm now on my record of going once to San Antonio and once to Houston per year. I think this is like my 4th year where I've gone to San Antonio 1 time. And then I haven't gone to Houston yet, and at this point, who knows if I will. But, yeah.
It's just what you were talking of traveling. I've got, like, a joke.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wait till you're done.
No, that's pretty much it. Go for it.
Just say, we've been talking about, Diego coming to visit me for a while now. And you know what? Flights are cheap.
I mean... Oh, bro, New York has, like, one of the most cases.
How far in advance could you book?
Well,
if you book it for like 6 months from now, could you still get the cheap ass price?
well, I guess they don't know how the situation's going to be, but like, would they then anticipate that it's going to be over, or would they anticipate that it's still going to be?
I feel like either way, you could make a case for keeping your original price. All you have to do is just be an asshole about it. Like, call them and
no, but like, what if they're
I'm not being an
anticipating?
asshole.
What if they're anticipating that it's going to be over like in 6 months, and they already have like their regular prices back, or maybe they're like just waiting. Like, as of right now, everything's going to be regular price, and the closer we get, if things are still the same, then they'll make them cheaper.
I mean, we could find out. We'll find out after the podcast.
Of course. No, what was like the last time that like you went out?
Went out. Let's see. Last week, I think. Last Friday, maybe. I went to a friend's house. For we stayed 6 feet apart the whole time. I left pretty early because I was just bored.
Oh. Yeah.
Because we'd been planning that for like 2 weeks, so we just didn't want to. Yeah, that was a pretty wild weekend. I say wild, but
yeah, I have these two friends that I hang out with like once a week, and typically we hang out on Fridays. But this week, for whatever, or last week, I guess for whatever reason, we decided to do it on. I want to say it was Tuesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, funny story. The day before that, one of them tried to sleep that night, and then they couldn't, so they just did that thing where they stayed up, and then they showed up to school, and they didn't sleep, and then we were like, but today was the day that we were gonna go out, and they were like, okay, fine, I'll go, and they ended up staying up for like 34 hours or something like that, which I don't know how anybody could do that. I've only ever done that one time where I stayed up like past to the other day, and it was the most miserable day of my life, but it's because I was editing. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So yeah, like last week, I want to say it was like on Tuesday or Wednesday, we were like, oh, let's just go to the park, and then we thought, you know what, why not, let's go get some wings from Wingstop. And so we did, and the whole place was like, obviously the tables are all like against the wall, no one can eat there, you can just order to like take out. And
right,
so
yeah, take it to go. Yep.
And so we did, and we ended up getting, I want to say like it was the original hot or something like that, but these were like the crappiest looking wings because they did not taste hot like at all. They tasted like regular wings, and it almost looked like they like spray painted the wings to look like they were hot, because part of the wings were like not colored, part of them were just the color of regular wings. And so I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what the hell, Wingstop?
They might be understaffed.
What's that?
Like,
oh yeah,
they might have just cooked like uneven or whatever.
It's possible. They had a friend that worked there, and I was like, hit him up, but like, nah, like they ended up not. And so we were at the park, and there was a surprisingly large amount of people, so we tried to stay away from everybody. But it turns out that one of the two friends that was there was actually at the island at the beach the previous week. To be fair, it was before everything had happened, and it was like on the very first day, and only on that day. But I'm like, still, because they're a week later that there ended up being a confirmed case of two elderly people. They were like an elderly couple.
Yep.
But they were winter Texans, so they come down here. For those of you that don't know, it's like typically older people. They just come down to Texas and they stay here for the winter while it's cold up wherever they live. Yeah. And so they apparently stayed here for like a couple months, like I want to say 3 or 4 months, but they had a wedding in Idaho. So in the middle of their stay here, they went up there and then they came back. Now, because they were an older couple, it's not like they were out, partying with all the spring break kids. They were pretty like quarantined within their own little place, but still it was here. So yeah, I got a little worried there for a second, but it turns out that it was okay, at least in my no one that I know or that were connected to me has been affected, so that's good.
Same here. There are people that like are like in like adjacent counties, but no one I know.
But yeah, all right, that's like that's enough talking about, unless you have anything else you want to talk about like related to that.
No, I saw something on my timeline on my Twitter timeline that I was excited about that is completely unrelated, and I want to talk about to change the subject.
Go for it.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Definitive Edition finally got a release date.
Wait,
I'm so
2?
excited. No, it's a remaster of the first one.
Because you said 2.
Did I say 2? I didn't mean 2.
Yeah.
No, I said Xenoblade Chronicles. Did I say 2? Well, it's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Okay. Finally got a release date.
So when is that?
I'm really excited. May 20-something.
Okay. Is there anything different about this version?
Updated graphics, probably some small quality of life improvements. There's an entire epilogue, post game type thing with some of the cut content from the original. The visuals look stunning. I can't wait to watch a certain character get nay-nayed at the beginning of the game.
Spoilers.
In HD. I can't wait to hear Shulk scream someone's name.
What's the iconic Shulk quote?
Fiora!
No, not that. What does he say? Damn it. He says it in Smash too.
I'm really feeling it.
I'm really feeling it. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm really feeling it.
Wait, you have played the original, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, and my brother and my friend. We've been goofing
my
around
brother, my
and,
friend, and I.
All right. No, but we've been like goofing around and shit. And like one night, we were playing Smash, and I had said, guys be afraid to moan during sex, but I be in my girl's ear like, and then I just started spamming Shulk's side B, which is backslash.
God damn it.
I be in my girl's ear like
backslash. Jesus. Yeah.
Imagine you move down to her ear, you start whispering backslash.
Jesus. And then you fall off. But was that announced at the Nintendo Direct that happened not too long ago?
Yep, yeah, there was a mini direct, yes, where we also it was also announced that an ARMS character would be the next.
I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
I think it's kind of cool.
I feel like most people had kind of forgot about ARMS.
Well, yeah, I mean that doesn't give it any less of a reason to have a character in the game.
Well, I think that if people forgot about it, it means that the game didn't have a lot of I guess last, or how would you call it? Like,
I guess I don't know.
Like I don't see them making like another ARMS game anytime soon. So it seems like I don't know.
I mean, when are they making another Game & Watch game though?
That's true, but Game & Watch is one of those like legacy
yeah, but no one really remembers it.
But it was the first game that Nintendo ever made.
Sure. Well, okay, fair enough. But it wasn't. I think Smash wasn't even originally a Nintendo game, and.
But
yeah,
Game & Watch wasn't added until Melee, though. It wasn't even in the original. I feel like Game & Watch kind of has like the... To be fair, I'm not going to sit here and defend every Smash character. Like, I think like Rob doesn't need to be there, and a lot of the clones don't need to be there. But,
And the thing is, and that's just Diego's opinion. You don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree.
But that being said, this is definitive. No, but yeah, I didn't actually watch the Direct. Was anything else like interesting announced?
Some the Pokemon DLC. That's really it. I don't know.
Yeah, because like the last Smash DLC character was Bayleth from Fire Emblem, and then the next one is gonna be ARMS. So it seems like they kind of like had all their like heavy hitters already, because now they're doing like first party stuff. Unless, I mean, I still know for a fact that the final DLC character is going to be Waluigi. I've been saying it from the start, and there's nothing that anyone can say to change my mind. That being said, though, I was kind of expecting, some other stuff. It's weird, like, that there's franchises that are represented within Smash, but only through, like, not characters. So, like, there's Assassin's Creed stuff, there's Resident Evil stuff, there's obviously Cuphead and Undertale, right? And, like, all these other things.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's kind of weird that, like, well, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, in terms of game, like Animal Crossing and Doom came out. Have you been playing either of those?
I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the slowest to start games, but I think it's the most rewarding so far. Well, I don't say rewarding. It's the easiest to get into because there's not this pressure of like playing it every second of every day to start. You basically, at first you play it however long as you want, and then the more you play it, the better you get, and then obviously, you want to play it more, the more stuff that you unlock. So I think that this one handles it the best that any Animal Crossing entry has.
Yeah, well, I'm actually surprised by like how many people are playing Animal Crossing now. Like I feel like everyone's like getting into it, and it kind of came out at like the perfect time, really, because it is it can be a time consuming game, I guess, if you want it to be. But yeah, no, the only Animal Crossing that I've played is New Leaf, and so I haven't gotten this one, but who knows? I might.
It's fun.
Yeah. Animal Crossing New Horizons is trending right now on Twitter, even though it came out a while ago.
I also want to talk a little bit about Mr. Dungeon DX.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a faithful remake. Visuals are stunning. I think it does the original game justice. I like some of the quality of life changes. Is it worth $60? No. If it were $20 cheaper, I would honestly recommend it. But I can't recommend it at its current price point. It's a phenomenal game. You know, it does the original one justice. It's a great remake. The music is amazing. Just right now it's too expensive. I cannot honestly recommend it. That being said, you know, if you're on the fence about getting it, get it. It's fun. It's you know, like, it's right from the get-go. It's wholesome as shit.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, I haven't been playing much. I've just been taking advantage of like the extra time. I've kept up my like 3-week now streak on Duolingo with French. So there you go.
The Duolingo owl.
Yeah, I know,
that
right?
Was a meme.
Anyways, what else have I been doing? I've been just like playing some more music and stuff like that, just practicing, doing all that. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this. So back I want to say that the last or 2 podcasts ago that we did, I was talking about how we had like a little like me and my friends had like a little Halloween party and then a Thanksgiving party. They were both at my house. The Christmas party that we had since the last podcast. I know I'm talking about Christmas and it was like freaking March.
Yeah, it was a long.
It was not at my house. It was at my friend's house, but it was actually really nice because like we had like a little gift exchange planned out, and we for a long time we didn't know what to call like our little group of friends that we had. So we would always just name the group chat after whatever the next event was. So when we made the group chat, it was just Friendsgiving. And then we renamed it to Friendsmas. And then after Christmas, it was like, all right, let's plan it. When are like all 8 of us going to hang out again? And we were like, oh, Disney Plus is about to come out, which by the way, Disney Plus has come out since the last podcast. Yep. It's been that long.
It's not that great. It's mediocre. No, that's not true. It's better than that.
I guess.
It's okay.
I think it's all right, but I'm also me. So anyways, I was like, we should do a Disney Renaissance marathon. And so we did. We sat down. It actually ended up taking 2 days because it turns out that people get bored quickly. And when I say quickly, I mean after 4 movies. So maybe not so quickly.
Humans today, you know, this isn't some, these damn kids don't know. It's humans. Even like, you know, even like my parents, right? Like, just, it's really hard to keep yourself entertained. So, you know, that's why even while even while I'm writing code or even while I'm, you know, playing a game, I'll have something going on in the background because I need it's like there's this need for constant stimulation. I mean, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but.
Okay, boomer. So that also happened since the last podcast, by the way.
I seriously want to talk about this a little bit. Like,
oh yeah, no, I mean. No, I've always said that I have a short attention span because I can't watch TV shows. Like even if I like the show, I still get bored after like 2 episodes and then I won't get back to it for another month because I'm like, well, I already watched 2 episodes. That's such a long amount. And then I don't. And then when I come back to it, I forget what happened, but I don't feel like restarting it because that's going to take so much time.
Exactly. And then you just don't watch the show ever again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to me with One Punch Man. But I also fell asleep in the middle of it, and like I woke up like in the middle of like the 7th episode. I'm like,
dude,
I have no idea what's going on.
That's been me with every anime. I've finished 3 anime ever, and I've started and dropped about 30.
I've finished almost everyone I've watched with the exception of One Punch. A lot of them were, you know, but then again, a lot of them were, you know, like those like, you know, mass-produced, you know, slice of life animes that were, you know. I'm just your average 13-year-old kid. It's like, you know,
is
like
that what you're into, Sam?
No.
Of course. No, but the most
where, like the good-looking dude, you know, is completely oblivious to the harem he has, which is an obnoxious trait, and it's not. It doesn't make for good TV.
When are we gonna make our Diabolic Lovers abridged series, Sam?
Oh my God, that is a. Listen,
that's still gonna happen someday. That's still gonna happen someday.
A certain person and I aren't together anymore, so
doesn't matter. We could get whoever. We could get anybody to do it.
No,
it just it has the soul of the 2 of us, and so we'll do it. Look it up if you don't know what we're talking about, guys. Diabolic Lovers. It's based on a Vita game.
Speaking of abridged.
Oh, but real quick, I was gonna say like the worst offender of this is for me, like the pinnacle is Kill la Kill, where I literally got to like the second to last episode and then stopped.
And you just stopped?
And now I'm not. Now I'm never. And now it's been years. How can I go back now? Like I can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. No. But I wanted to say pretty big news. Like in the YouTube sphere, Team 4-Star officially stopped Dragon Ball Z Abridged. They officially put a cap on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a project that spanned at least, I want to say, 10 years.
Probably
longer. You know what? I'm going to really quick look this up.
Go for it. Yeah, I mean, I never watched the Dragon Ball personally, but I did watch the FF7 Abridged.
I watched Abridged.
Yeah.
Let's see. Episode 1. Give me 1 second here.
Yep.
7. Okay, so it's 7 years. Oh, wow. 7 years almost to the day. In a couple of months, it'll be 7 years.
Well, what do you mean? Almost to the day in a couple of months? That's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the grand scheme of things,
I guess.
like, it's like May 8th,
All right.
2013.
Okay.
So that's like a month and some change, barely.
Yeah.
No, but like, and that's that's the thing. Like,
Why did they?
When you think of Abridging, that's one of the first things that and Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, two of the first things that really should come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they I don't want to paraphrase anything they said. If you're interested, go watch their video on it. It's just a lot of people said some really awful things about it's like I gotta be honest, you guys are making a bad decision. I'm not gonna watch your content anymore. And the thing is, that's an okay opinion to have. Just don't say it like that. Like,
yeah, I guess. Like if it's true that if that's the only thing that you watch them for, then like sure.
And there were people that said that respectfully, like, hey, listen, guys, I wish you luck I wish you the best of luck in your next ventures. Really only subscribed for DBZA, so I'm gonna have to leave. And the thing is,
or just don't say anything. Like you don't have to. Yeah.
Don't say anything. Like you don't have to say that because that's just gonna break their hearts more.
Yeah. No, I don't know anything about the situation to be 100% clear.
And the thing is, like that's kind of old-ish news, I will say. Like,
but this is the catch-up podcast.
Yeah, the catch-up.
Next one will be the mustard podcast, but now
catching up in quarantine. That's the title. That's the title. Catching up in quarantine.
Live at you from the apocalypse. All right. But anyways, going back to my story that I was saying.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we had the little Disney marathon that we ended up having, and that took quite like I said, it took 2 days, but by the end of it, we made it. We found a lot of different things, like the fact that every Disney song ends with the same exact cadence, which is a Mario cadence, actually. Music majors, what can I say? No, yeah, but like the Mario cadence, which is a flat 6, flat 7, 1, they all ended in that. And then the one movie that made people cry was actually, unsurprisingly, The Lion King. So, yeah, that was the only one where people cried. And I had this little just for fun, I thought that it would be cool to make this little competition. So I kind of like gave quote like awards for each of the movies, like which one has like the best song, which one has the best like character and the best all this, right? And I had all my friends guess like what they thought which one was gonna be, and at the end the person that got the closest got like a $15 Target gift card. And so
that's fun.
Yeah, we did that. We kept it up all on a bulletin board, and even though that happened in January and it is March, it is still over at my friend's house. I gotta go pick it up after this whole thing is over so I can bring it back into my room. But yeah, that's been my my only experience with Disney Plus, really, because I don't have it. My sister has it, but I don't have it. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
we have it. I think we had it for like a year or something.
Wait, what? A year?
We bought it. We bought it for like a year. We're gonna try it for a year.
Okay. Yeah. That's been going on. I was watching back like some of the older podcasts just to kind of like remember like kind of where we left off and what we had and had not talked about. And I remember that on that podcast I was talking about how, you might remember this, Sam, that me and actually the same two friends that I went to the Wingstop thing with were making little Christmas ornament like paper cutouts with everyone in the choir's names on them so that we can hang them up on the tree. I kind
of remember that, yeah.
And so us being the absolute mad lads that we are, we were like, hey, let's do that again for Valentine's Day. And so we cut out hearts of everyone's name. It took literally like, I want to say 5 trips to Starbucks to finish all of them. But we did it, and we got them up the week of Valentine's Day. Like on the week,
Nice.
we got them up, and it took so much tape. Like forget like cutting them out and doing all like the names, like actually hanging them up and with all the tape. We ran all of the tape in the choir dry. There was no more left, and the decorations lasted maybe a week and a half before they took them down. And I was like, all right guys, now time to do it with clovers for Patrick's Day. But like, nah, we did not do that. So yeah,
I can't. I'm running out of stuff.
it's been so long. You would think that we'd have so much to talk about, right?
Right.
I guess it's because it's not fresh on our mind because it happened
Right.
like a bit ago.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Valentine's Day.
Oh, during Valentine's Day, I was actually up in San Antonio, so did not do anything for that. I think we might have gone to Chili's, like a couple friends. Like that was it. So, yeah.
You see, a lot of people sleep on Chili's, but I think it's a good restaurant.
I don't. We have a
Wait, no.
no.
Wait, yes. No, I always get I always get Chili's and Applebee's mixed up in my head.
Oh.
Chili's is fire. Applebee's is not.
They have like a Chili's in the Riverwalk, which is kind of cool. But yeah. I think I went with like one of my friends. Oh, actually, funny story about that friend. So his birthday was like the week after we came back from San Antonio, and for his birthday, originally we wanted to do a because like there's this park that's like very close to my house, and a lot of like the people, well, not all of them, but like a few of the people like in the group kind of live in like the same general neighborhood as me, and so we'll go to that park, and they've got like little what are they called, like grills. They got like little grills, and so I was like, yo, we should,
gross ass.
yeah. I was
grills.
like, guys,
No.
we should have a barbecue. Not there, but I was like, just as a joke, I was like, oh, we should do one. And I was like, oh, we should do it like for your birthday because it's coming up. And so for a long time we were planning on it. So that's what we were going to do. We were going to do a barbecue. But like last second, the one dude that knew how to barbecue was like not going to be able to make it after all. And we were like, frig, like, what are we going to do now? Right. And so like it was the day before, and me and like the dude whose birthday was and another friend, we were like, all right, here, let's just go and we'll just buy like we'll just buy like stuff at like this Mexican restaurant. He was gonna buy what is called a parrillada.
Yes.
So yeah, it was like this, basically this whole thing that has like, you can like, it has like all this meat and stuff, and you can just make yourself like food. So we're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. And
a lot
so
of Mexican dishes at restaurants are like that, where they basically just make you put it together yourself.
yeah, pretty much, right? cut on their costs for work. But yeah, no, like
I mean, we make jokes, but I mean, the food slaps though. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, food is absolutely delicious, but it's just like, it's funny how, you know.
so keep in mind, it's my friend's birthday, right? And so before it's still like a couple hours until we're gonna have the party, and so I wanted to go to Guitar Center just to kind of like hang out, because I wanted to get something. And we're all music majors, and we hang out at Guitar Center. I mean, not a lot, but like every now and then, right? We'll just go.
Right,
and
so your my quote Guitar Center is Best Buy.
yes, probably. Like we'll go and just play like piano or guitar and stuff like that, and just kind of
I'll
mess.
go there and mess with the keyboards and shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, we went, and my friend wanted to get a kazoo. I don't know why. He just picked it up, and it was like $2, and I was like, you know, bro, like it's $2, like and it's your birthday, I'll get it for you, like whatever. And he was like, oh sure. And so like we go up to the thing, and he's like, real quick, like he checks his he's like, oh crap, like I don't have my jacket. I left it in the bathroom when we went there, because we were there for like an hour, right? And I'm like, well, go get it. And he goes, and he comes back, and he's like, I found the jacket. And he's like, cool. And he's like, but my wallet is missing. And I'm like, are you sure you didn't leave it in the car? And he's like, let me go check. And so he goes to the car, and like I like pay for the thing or whatever. And then I look outside, and I see that he's like on the phone with somebody, and I'm like, oh no, this can't be good. And so he's just kind of pacing around like outside, and eventually he comes back in, and I'm like, what happened? And he's like, yeah, so that was my bank calling. And yeah, they told me that there was like this suspicious charge for like whatever, like apparently someone ended up stealing his entire wallet, and they wasted all of the money that he had left on his bank on gas. And so since it was like it like fully depleted like all of the funds that he had, that's why the bank called him. And so it was his birthday again, keep in mind, God. Which sucks. And he was like, honestly, like I didn't even have any cash in there, but like I did have like all my IDs, like my cards, and I had like a picture of like his family that lives in Florida that he doesn't get to see anymore, and like all this like sentimental stuff. And I'm like,
whoever took
God
that wallet,
damn it,
man.
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn it, that sucks. And I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, man, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, you know what? Like, honestly, like, let's just go get the food. I just want to like forget about this. You know, I just want to have like a good night. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Oh, like, good on him. I'd let that ruin the rest of my like year.
And so we drive over. We get the thing. Obviously, I was gonna pay for half of the food. And he was gonna pay for the other half, but obviously he didn't have any money anymore, so I had to pay for like the whole thing, which was like $40.
That's
but
not too bad.
I guess for me it was. Look, I don't. I'm broke.
Perspective. You're right. Your perspective. Yep,
Anyways,
yep. Right.
We got it or whatever, and then he put like the bag. I was like, here, you hold it. And so he was like, okay. So he put the bag like at the bottom, and he put the tray like on his lap. And so we're driving down, right? And like we're halfway back to the house, and like I look down and I noticed that like where I was holding the tray, like when I was handing it over to him, there was like a little tiny little stain on my jeans from like when I put it on my lap to hand it over to him. And I'm like, if that dripped onto my jeans from the 2 seconds that I held it and gave it over to him. And I was like, can you lift up that tray? And he was like, sure. And he lifts it up, and sure enough, dude, it's all over his jeans, on the seat, on the car. And I'm like, no, God damn it. What are we going to do now? And so we pull over, and we're trying to find out what we're going to do. And like, luckily I had some like wipes. So we're like wiping down the seat and like our jeans and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, where are we going to put it? Like, are we just going to put it in the bag? Like the seat's going to get drenched. And he's like, and so homeboy takes off his jacket and he puts it on the seat, and then he puts that on top of it, and he wraps it up. And that was his favorite jacket, supposedly.
Oh, man.
And we eventually made it.
PayPal? I kind of want to. I kind of want to give him like $20. Christ.
And so eventually we made it to the thing, and of course, like we had to tell everyone like everything that had just happened. Like again, on this dude's birthday, could not have been like a worse day. But honestly, like, despite all that stuff, we still ended up having a good night. One of our friends actually had just bought a Switch, like literally like an hour before we got there. So we were like playing Switch, and then we were playing like some board games, and then just eating and like all this stuff. So like the rest of the night was pretty good. And luckily the day after, a friend of his messaged him saying that they found a Craigslist posting for his wallet, that someone had posted it. And so he contacted the person, and he was able to get it back, and all his stuff was still in there. Like he said, like the card had already been used, so all the money that he had in there had been used, but like all of his stuff was still in there at least, so he was able to get it back. That's
really fortunate. Wait, I want to hear more about that. So is that a thing? People just like sell wallets with stuff in it on
I don't know if they were
Craigslist?
selling it, or maybe they were like, oh, I found this, like if it belongs to anybody, and then the person would contact them.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think that he bought it from the person. Yeah, I think that like probably what happened is that the person who found it originally used the card, and then they left it somewhere. And then someone else found it, and then they were the ones that put it up. Or maybe the person was just trying to play it off, and they were the ones that wasted it, and then they also put it up because they felt bad, I guess. I don't know why they would at that point. But yeah, it's like, what are the odds? Because he told like all of his like friends and all his family. I was like, yeah, no, I lost it. And then luckily one of his friends just so happened to find it like a couple days later.
That's weird though.
Yeah.
Like that timing.
It is weird. I mean, it took a couple days, to be fair, but like, I don't know. I guess if he would have told like all his friends about it, maybe one of them just happened to be checking and saw. Because I definitely don't think that the person the friend who found it took it.
I'm not trying to insinuate that.
Yeah.
No, God no. I'm just saying that's like really lucky. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. So he got it back. And I think that he was able to get the money back from like the bank and telling them that it got stolen or whatever.
Good.
But yeah, that was his birthday this year. So it was a lot more eventful than my birthday because I turned 21 and I had 2 finals and I had to travel to the other campus to sing at a performance on that day. So I didn't do anything. But yeah. I think I mentioned that on one of the last podcasts that I was going to do that. And yeah, I did that. And that was it. That was my birthday. So fun. Your birthday also happened since the last podcast, right?
Did it? Oh, yeah. I turned 23. I don't really remember.
You didn't do anything?
No, I did. I went out drinking with some people from work. I had a great night, actually.
Social distancing, Sam. I'm kidding. This was back in January.
In January.
I know. Well, actually, didn't this like start like late January? No, actually, it started last year, right? Like, but it didn't really become a thing until like late February, I want to say. But anyways,
well, but yeah. Let's not go back there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all that I got. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about.
Just it's been, life's been, up. We both had our ups and downs,
Yeah.
It was one of the main reasons we kind of, stopped doing the pod. And actually, we could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, so
changes.
what's gonna be going on? Is this like officially season 2, or are we gonna like?
I would say this is probably gonna be the official start of season 2. But like beyond that, I want to talk about some of the changes we're gonna make.
Go for it.
So we make jokes about it. Now here's an official announcement. We're not gonna call ourselves a weekly podcast anymore.
Did we ever though?
No, I'm pretty sure we might have mentioned. I know I was pretty adamant about trying to get it done on a weekly basis. So here's an official, statement from us that says we're not going to pretend or try to be a weekly podcast anymore. We're going to post when we feel like it. That way there's no stress to record and force a conversation. It just happens naturally.
I think, when we feel like we have enough stuff to talk about. That being said, at least me personally, I think that we should try to have at least one out a month. That's the thing that I'm going to hold myself to.
I was just about to say that, the same thing. Like basically, obviously we don't want to go 6 months without a podcast, so we're still going to try to do one at least once a month, probably the end of the month if we don't. So to give you like an idea of the timeline, like it's about to be April, right? April 1st starts. Just as an example.
April Fools?
If by April 20 whatever, we haven't had a podcast, we'll record one then.
I promise you guys that we'll have a podcast out April 1. That's like less than a week from now. That's in like 3 days. So I guess this one will be out in time for that.
Can we just upload like an hour-long video of us just like breathing into our microphones?
Oh God! Just the occasional like like the occasional clearing throat or just just in the background.
Or
like
just an hour of us making video game protagonist dialogue noises.
Yeah, just like anime quotes, like just.
Huh.
I see what you mean.
Huh? What? You don't say.
Interesting.
What?
This just Link at that point. No, but I
watched an interview with the voice actor for Joker, and he said, "Yeah, it's just we're just huh."
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I was gonna say I forgot what day of the week does this podcast come out? Is it Sunday or Monday?
That's another thing. Should we just start and stick to our Saturday upload?
Was it on Saturdays that it went up? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Saturday mornings, 10 a.m.
Okay, so
10 a.m. Eastern.
Well, it is Saturday today, so we already missed it.
Yeah.
So I guess we could
put it up on April. We could put it up on April 1st because people are like, wait, are they back? I don't.
No, because then I made the joke that we're gonna be back on April 1st, and like. Maybe we could just upload it tomorrow. We could have it be up on Sunday.
I don't know if I'm gonna have it ready tomorrow.
Okay.
I have another video I really need to edit. I'll have it ready as soon as I can, and then we'll decide together.
We're talking about this, but the people will already know. The people watching this already know.
That's true. Yeah, you'll already.
That being said, we can talk about this after we stop recording. So, if there isn't anything else to talk about, then I guess that's pretty much it.
I just kind of want to do, one last reiteration of what I mentioned at the beginning. There is a global pandemic going on. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Please, for the love of God, stay inside unless you absolutely have to go out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling sick, call your doctor. Don't keep it a secret because that's how this stuff gets worse.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, that's really it for me. I don't know if you have any closing remarks you want to make.
Make sure you get enough toilet paper. All right. So yeah, that's
all
it.
right. But that being said, this has been the Cast and Chill podcast. The only, what the hell did I say at the beginning?
I don't even remember.
Something, was it a social distancing joke?
Yes, the only podcast that does not follow the social distancing rule.
No, that wasn't it.
We're gonna get up and close and personal, guys. Less than 6 feet. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
We'll see
Good
you
night,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.